Go. So invoice 3871 for $680 to supply the necessary labor, material, and equipment to replace and repipe the condensate return line pump and motor assembly. So we're in the boiler room. There's the boiler. Here is the pump assembly.
Back here
there's the pump that was replaced.
Can you see the laser?
Yep, we can see the laser and trace the pipe.
Here is a trace of piping that comes all the way. Well, this one comes up here. It goes to this unit riser here, and also from here, and it goes all the way.
It goes.
You take a step forward here to this riser over here. That's the one.
So where's it end? Right there?
Right there.
Okay, so that's
the receiver, condensate receiving right there.
Okay, and why was that necessary?
Because there was water water trapped in the line.
Okay.
So that's all it is.
Okay, and by replacing the pump, we were able to suck that down.
The pump was, the motor was shot.
Okay, thank you.
It wasn't working at all.
So for invoice 3870, this is an addendum. It was for $1,325. This is for a 2.5-inch pipe work and 1.5-inch pipe. The work began here next to the freight elevator. It goes up into the radiators next to the elevator room. It goes all the way back to the boiler.
Over the top of it.
So this invoice was necessary because?
It was necessary because the piping was a live steam line. It was tied into the boiler and had to be removed. It was incorporated with this existing steam line, with this header line and return lines. They were all incorporated together when they went back to the boiler. And it was causing back pressure on the return line. It had to come out. So you did one and the other at the same time.
So we rerouted one line, we removed another. We needed to reroute it so that the system was pressurized properly, because as it was, there was fluid in it, correct?
Right. The water was trapped, it was back pressure on the return line, and return line would not drain to the boiler.
And by rerouting this, we corrected the problem?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And approximately, there was 2 different parts. And
about 10 hours worth of work for everything.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right.
Invoice 3854 for $2,373, approximately $400 in material, approximately 20 hours in labor. This invoice, if you get your pointer out for me, is for 6 lines tied in right here, which was way too much volume going into one single pipe in the return line, which effectively, instead of water being sucked back by the condensate pump to the boiler, it was being pressurized, and that does not allow the steam to circulate through the system properly. It's inefficient and costs the building money. So what he did was detached it from that area, the 6 lines tying in,
and this one here,
and that one there, rerouted them, point to there where they welded it, there,
and
where else?
watch your step, and in the corner over here.
And over here for Panera. So that was the majority of that labor. The majority of the material beyond the new valves was this copper piping you're seeing in the corner. They installed that new, right?
Yes.
All right, and that runs from here all the way. Of course, it goes through that wall and runs back to where we're walking.
The hallway here up top.
In the hallway back there, going all the way to Panera, correct?
Not all the way to Panera. I just made a tie. My tie-in went across here.
There it is.
So it would not be.
So how?
I did it so it wouldn't be hanging out in the middle of the floor.
So we're talking 60 feet of pipe or so?
Yes, that's about right.
And that is what this invoice for completely,
yes,
right? All right. All right, this is for invoice 3839 for $3,625. It is for approximately 24 hours of labor and $1,225 worth of material. Includes 4 main items. 21 of the 24 hours of labor is for replacing 3 steam traps, which you'll see right here. There's 1, there's number 2 is there, and number 3 is there. Adjacent to them, you're going to see 3 valves. You'll point to
behind them.
Right there.
And then the other one's up over here.
And it was for also installing those. So that's the majority of the labor, which it took 7 hours for each because
Because you have to start with one and trace them back down. Start one, go the next, and go the next. They were leaking, they were defective. Either they were allowing water to go through or steam to go through.
So the majority of that labor time is you were physically doing what?
Replacing it and testing it.
Okay, and so then he also repitched pipe, which is part of the invoice, going all the way from here,
Back through.
which is way back there. We're going to walk along it, all the way back to this back corner, which is where the last part of the invoice is for capping the 3 obsolete lines near the elevator room. Those 3 lines, which is, we just walked the...
This is the mechanical room, and this is where those trap lines come out.
So, and
There were some steam lines that had to be capped here. We've replaced them since then.
what we just walked was the whole line of a stretch of pipe that needed to be repitched.
Yes.
All right. And this was all necessary because the system is for both the supply and return line. On the supply line, we were getting water, which was not allowing the steam to be efficient. We were having to use more gas and energy than we should be able to. This should save us money. For the return line, it was pressurizing it and not allowing the condensate to return as it should. And that's what this invoice is for.